Go. All right, everybody. This is our friend Andrew Haines. He's a sports executive. Tell us a little more about you and what you're doing and your podcast that you're doing and all the fun things.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I've spent most of my career as a team owner of independent minor league sports. So, professional indoor soccer, arena football, outdoor soccer, like USL level, PDL, and spent a little time with the Fredericksburg Nationals minor league baseball team as a vice president of sales. This year, I launched the show, the AndrewHaines Show. Big original name, I know, but I was bored, and I thought it would be a great thing to kind of share with, everyone else in my network. Like, yeah, hey, there's a lot of cool people out there with some great stories, great backgrounds, coming from all walks of life, and I like to just kind of highlight their journey and talk about how they got from A to B to C. And it's been really cool connecting with a lot of people. In that, I don't know how I came across it, but I had one of my crazy ideas to help people. I was like, okay, I keep seeing people on LinkedIn talking about getting laid off due to COVID and fired due to no fault of their own. And so I was like, well, I'm building this podcast up. It's starting to get a following. And so I created a segment called Free Agent Fridays. And on Free Agent Fridays, we highlight people who have been laid off or fired, affected by COVID, basically, in the sports and entertainment world. And there's short little, 10 to 20 minute interviews like this. And it's to highlight them, give them something other than a cover letter. I mean, how many resumes? I know how many resumes I used to get when I put a job posting out. So I know how tough it is. And I thought the videos could give somebody that edge. And as of this week, we are up to over 80 Free Agent Friday segments. And over a dozen people have already gotten hired.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I can't say that that's all from the segment, but hey, hopefully it had an impact. And it's been great because I've had a lot of people in HR and executives throughout professional sports and entertainment kind of reach out to me and saying, hey, I've been checking out the Free Agent Fridays. I saw so-and-so. And some of them are just like, hey, we think it's a great thing, so keep it up. So it's been very cool because I've gotten to meet a lot of great people. I mean, I get to meet you as well that way. And, it's a great opportunity for me to, kind of meet a lot of great people in the sports world, because you never know. I mean, at some point I'm going to have another venture going, and, I'm going to be looking for people, and I've already got a list of people that I've interviewed that are my go-tos already.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. I had a boss at one point that used to always say, you can't go wrong doing right. And sometimes thinking outside the box like that, I mean, I thought our interview when we did it for the Free Agent Friday was awesome. It was great to put it out there. I did get some feedback on it, some very positive feedback. Obviously, no one right now was hiring. So it was like, okay, it's there and ready so people can see. I mean, the thing is when you're looking to hire people, as you know, as a manager too, you always want to see their personality, and will their personality mesh with you? Will it mesh with the crew? So by seeing that and how they're interviewing, I think that was a great concept. And I absolutely am going to put the link on here as well through the blog, as well as your podcast, so everybody can check it out and hear the stories that are being told, because there are many stories. And that being said, this year has been really hard for everyone that's in baseball, especially the minor league. Major league has had its trouble. They've had their hits, especially in the ticketing world. But each and every one of us know what that moment felt like when you were told, season's done, we're over. Tell us and walk us through what that was like for you as a leader of your team, but also how did you overcome some of the day-to-day emotions, because you have to be an example for your crew.
Yeah, it's tough. It wears you out some days. I mean, I think it started for me more so when we started working from home. So with minor league baseball for our league, we were in kind of like everything was up in the air for so long. So I want to say like it was around St. Patty's Day that our office closed down and everyone started working from home. And so the first thing is for me as the leader on the sales side is I want to make sure that my team is okay. And so, you know, a lot of it is just, mental. It's, these guys are, not set up to be working remotely. Most of them are entry level or younger. So they're in apartments or places that they don't have private offices in their homes. So just making sure everybody's set up and doing okay. And then, it's scary, if you watch the news. So just being that positive, constant, for them. What I did back then starting out to kind of just make sure that we were, all doing well is we set up 2 Zoom calls a day. So we did a Zoom call at 9 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. We did a 4:30 Zoom call in the evening. And again, these aren't long, typical meetings. These are more like just checking in. Hey, what happened today? Anything crazy? And really for the first few weeks, we started, trying to figure out what we can do. Okay. So when we first were told we're working from home, half the staff got laid off. So this is the rest of the staff that is now worried every day, myself included, like, okay, when are we going to be next? And so
A sense of survivor's guilt too, almost.
yeah, it's like you see these other people that, were your coworkers and you build those relationships with people and now they're not here. And it was probably it probably wasn't as bad as it would have been had we all been in the office still. Because, working from home, it kind of separated that some, but it really, it was like, I told them, I was like, look, we can't control anything except our effort right now. And I want to make sure that if there's more cuts that I can honestly fight for everyone. And the way I'm going to do that is by you putting the effort in. And that's not necessarily dollars and cents. It's if I don't feel like you're doing the effort, I'm not going to go to bat. And so we kind of got in that system, and it took us a little while, and we started bringing on guests to our Zoom calls. So we brought in some sales trainers. We brought in some other executives from other teams. And it was more of like, hey, what's working for you with the Indiana Pacers? What's working for you here and there? And it really helped too, because it opened up the eyes of the staff too to some new people and new concepts. But I said to them now is the time that we need to hone in our skills and really focus on personal development. And so that was really a big mission of mine, is to spend time with them individually through Zoom, bring guests on as well that are friends of mine or people I've known for years, people that can help all of us, do better. And in doing that, we kind of came up with a system on how we could still sell during COVID. And I want to say that I there's no data out there, but I believe that we have to be in the top few teams in the country during COVID, because we got a system down where everyone could identify if somebody was able to be closed now, or if they had to, build that relationship and put them in a different category. But I said, if we stop doing everything now, it's going to take us another 3 months to build the pipeline back up when things go well. So if you sit around and wait to figure everything out, we're all screwed. And so it was, hey, if you can sell. If you can't, it's all about building that relationship, doing check-ins and so on and so forth. And we just hit a stride. And sold out of our tower signs for the baseball team, and those aren't cheap. They were $12,000+ a piece just for the sign. So we really got into that stride, and then it was just continuing to, check in. Then we started doing like some face-to-face meetings because everybody was going crazy. The whole time I was still in the office every day. I lived across the street, and since nobody was in there, we were allowed a few people. So they would start gradually coming in, and they've done a great job. And because of the success that they had and we had there, no one else got laid off.
That's awesome.
And that's a direct result from their efforts. And it was, the cool thing was, it was a total group effort. Like, it wasn't me, it wasn't this guy or that guy. It was like 2 weeks I might have nothing, and I'm like, dang. But then, during those 2 weeks, other people stepped up, and then vice versa. And so it was really, really cool to see the group effort like that, and the success, and something I'm really proud of. I think the staff there has grown so much in the last 8 months that they're going to be very successful.
That's what all of us hope for as a sales team, as sales leaders. That's something that, if you're having a down week, that you're hoping somebody else picks up the pieces. And I love the fact that there has been success at some point through all of this, because we're not hearing many successes. We're hearing more negative. And I mean, how many of us are seeing our friends and colleagues and coworkers just flounder and not know what to do? So I think that speaks volumes of you as a leader, being able to change the culture and adjust the culture. And going forward, how do you see, and in the baseball community, of course, it's going to be a thunderstorm as we're talking and recording.
Hey.
Welcome to Wilmington, North Carolina, people. So, yeah. But, there's, in the baseball world, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 90 days. Hopefully we have an answer. But there's going to be a lot of changes, and there's going to be a lot of grinding. We're going to have to put our nose down and figure out how to do it. What are some things that you envision or hope that as a culture, as a baseball community, that we build?
Well, I mean, everything that I do, I try to be, positive. I mean, you can look at every situation and either it could be negative or positive almost. And just like COVID, everybody wants it's negative. You know what? It is what it is. We're going to make the best of it. We're going to push forward. I mean, I think it's going to be crazy kind of what happens with baseball. I mean, you have the player stuff, that is, going on. You have, the potential, contraction of teams, and which teams are going to be in which league. And there's so many things that could happen. There might not be a season next year. I always just go back to, I can only control what I can control. And I gotta move forward as if everything's going to be aligned, and then you pivot when you have to pivot. And, I think it's definitely going to be, a different footprint next year. I know even with the advanced A league, and, there's going to be different teams in the league, and teams that were advanced A could be double A next year, or vice versa. So there's so much up in the air right now for minor league baseball.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's, I think you're right. And after talking to some other people, the best thing that you can do is just keep trying, keep pushing, keep trying, do what you need to do. I love the resilient nature that is in minor league baseball, though. Something that we've seen across the board is all of these teams hosting different events in their ballpark that are still COVID compliant, that are creative, that are restaurants. You've got comedians behind home plate. You've got dance competitions that I'm sure everyone in the baseball world loves watching. And then, it's one of those that we just need to keep a positive attitude going. And you're okay to have your pity party for a little bit, but know that you're not by yourself, and everybody's in this together. Um, on a fun, a little bit lighter note, what is something that you've tried that's different during COVID?
Well, Zoom is number one. Before COVID, I never hosted a Zoom call or meeting ever. I want to think that I'm like an advanced Zoom user now. That's how I do my podcast. So
You put that under qualifications now, right, on your resume?
yeah, Zoom. So Zoom is one. Another thing too is the podcast. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone, and that's what I wanted to do. I like to continue to push myself. I want to be the best that I can be, and I know that to do that, I have to continue to learn and develop myself. And it's one thing, like anyone who has worked with me, that is what I want to do for them as well. I want them to be the best that they can be, and I want them to continue to progress. And that is probably the most rewarding thing as a leader, is seeing the success of, your team.
No, I know. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me, what's something that's exciting for you? And I said, the moment when you look, so picture opening day for a minute on whatever sport that you're in, and the national anthem is being played,
Yeah.
and you close your eyes, take a deep breath, open them, and then I would remember taking a look around at my staff and seeing that they were ready, they were good to go, they've already double checked everything. That sense of pride that we've led them to be where they are, I don't think matches anything else in the world. I
Yeah.
really don't. And you've done your job as a leader when your staff grows.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is, if you are with me for your whole career, either we had great advancement opportunities or you didn't develop. And I'd rather lose you and see you continue to progress if there's not an opportunity within me. And the unfortunate part is there's a lot of managers or people in manager roles. I'm not even going to call them leaders, because they're not, that they hold their people back because they don't want them to leave. And I think the opposite of that. I think, not that I want anybody to leave, but I want them to continue to progress and develop. And now it's cool to look out and see people on, dozens of teams who, you had an impact on their career and hopefully some of their success.
No, I agree. Finally, before we close this out, what's your vision with your podcast? What's the overall vision and goal?
I mean, I think I wasn't sure how long I would do it. But I mean, I've kind of, the response I've gotten so far is kind of blown me away. 3 months, I think we just hit over 10,000, listens and views. So for me, that was like, okay, well, maybe we're doing something that people are interested in. So my goal is to continue to develop it. Still do it, twice a week, regular episodes. I'm still going to do the Free Agent Fridays as long as there's free agents out there that want to come on. So we're at 80, and, hopefully we get to 100, 200, and we start seeing people get back to work, and we have an impact on as many people as possible. And in that, I mean, it's just been great. I mean, I think I've had 36 regular episodes, maybe not all released yet, but I've been able to communicate and meet some great people that maybe I've only talked to a little bit before. Some I've never talked to before the show. So, I think it's just great for personal development to do it. So just for that reason, I'm going to continue to work on it. Hopefully I get a little bit better with it.
I think it's awesome what you're doing, and I beyond appreciated being able to be on that. I will go ahead and post the link, like I said, so everyone can check it out as well. And thank you so much for your time today. I beyond appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, and good luck. I'm sure you're going to find something soon, though.
Well,
So,
we get there.
yeah.
Thanks.